Well, at this time of year, we usually expect things to slow down in the Gulf as people go on their summer holidays. But this week, we have really seen some important actions that will affect business and actually shape the direction of the market over the next few months and years ahead. Perhaps the most important has been in the UAE. We have seen the introduction of new legislation covering the changes to the tax regime, and particularly the VAT plans for the UAE. This week we saw the tax procedures law introduced in the UAE. This new law will set out the obligations for companies operating in the UAE and really lays the groundwork for the implementation of VAT of 5% from the 1st of January. It establishes a new federal tax authority, the FTA, which will be responsible for collecting and managing and regulating the new tax environment in this country. And really, it's a major milestone for everyone working in the UAE. And we can expect to see Saudi Arabia taking similar steps too in the next few weeks and months. In Saudi Arabia, we have seen some very important project news. Saudi Arabia is pushing ahead with something called the Maritime City. This is a major economic city development in Ras al-Khair on the Gulf Coast. It's being driven by Aramco, Saudi Aramco, the national oil company. It's a $5.2 billion industrial city, maritime industrial city. There is a joint venture that has been signed with Aramco, with the Saudi national shipping company Bahri, with the UAE shipping industrial company Lamprel, and with Hyundai Heavy Industries of South Korea to develop this new city. It will provide maintenance and construction and operation services to oil rigs in the Gulf and to shipping companies. Bahri has committed to maintaining and running 75% of its fleet out of this new maritime city, and it connects with everything else that's going on in Ras al-Khair, the Ma'aden's phosphates, aluminium smelter, which is connected by rail to the phosphates mines up in the north. And a key element of the new maritime city is buying local services and local resources. So this project is a major industrial development in the Gulf led by Aramco and Bahri that will fits in with Vision 2030 and is really a sign that Saudi Arabia is back on track after 2 years to start spending heavily on its development programs. The Qatar crisis this week continues to rumble on and create uncertainty, but we've seen Kuwait really driving the initiative to find some negotiated solution. The Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister in Kuwait has been travelling the GCC this week, meeting with Saudi Arabia and with Egypt to find a way forward, and there have been a series of bilateral meetings between Qatar and GCC countries. This is going to take a long time to resolve, and there's a lot of rhetoric and diplomatic heat and rhetorical noise being made that does sends mixed messages about whether we're making progress or not. But there's certainly a lot of diplomatic activity going on. We've seen some important news on its renewables program. Egypt wants to develop 4.5 gigawatts of renewable energy through wind and solar projects. Aquapower, the Saudi developer, signed a $190 million investment agreement to develop 3 photovoltaic plants in Cairo as part of the Feed-in-Tariff program. This is a long-running program to install 4.5 gigawatts of renewable energy. Aquapower's deal is the second Saudi developer to sign up to this program. There are about 30 companies who have expressed interest overall, but the program has had its problems. The news this week about the Aquapower deal is really a positive step for Egypt, and it comes as Egypt's foreign currency reserves reach a 10-year high. So I think we can see signs of significant positive development and progress with the Egypt economic drive. And just today, Prince Al-Walid bin Talal, the head of Kingdom Holding in Saudi Arabia, has announced that he intends to invest $800 million in tourism in Sharm el-Sheikh and in El Alamein on the Mediterranean coast. So good things going on in Egypt at the moment, but as ever, complicated market, lots of problems. So it's not going to, things are going to develop slowly, but good progress so far. Back in the Gulf, we have seen Bahrain and Saudi Arabia present their initial due diligence findings to potential investors in the project to build a 25-kilometre causeway second causeway linking Bahrain and Saudi Arabia. This would be a road and rail bridge. The study has been conducted by SNC-Lavalin and by PwC, has been presented to investors and will set the groundwork for a 6-month feasibility study for the project. And then finally, I just want to touch on Iran. Following the re-election of President Rouhani in Iran, the returning president has made a statement warning America not to scrap the nuclear deal, easing sanctions. This really is important to Rouhani, who has made commitments to his people that he is going to deliver economic growth through the easing of relations internationally. But President Trump in the US have elevated sanctions following missile tests earlier in the year in Iran, and this is now putting some of their investment projects, particularly in the airport sector, where we've seen the Mashhad International Airport project between France and Iran being delayed because of this return to uncertainty. So we've seen President Rouhani really appealing for a bit of stability and confidence in the restoration of international relations in Iran. So some important developments this week. You can find out all about them on meed.com. Please visit the site, please subscribe to the site, and then follow us on YouTube, and you can click on the link just underneath this screen and sign up to our YouTube channel as well. Thank you very much.